The objective of this video is to discover how to properly solve inequalities. An inequality is like an equation, but instead of an equal sign, it has one of the following signs: less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. As you have developed your mathematical skills as a middle schooler, it is very important that you start referring to these as the name that is given to them and not the alligator. So what exactly do inequalities mean? It is a mathematical sentence that uses one of the inequality symbols to state the relationship between two quantities. So now we realize that our different sides are not going to be exactly equal to each other, and we have to determine what relationship is happening between them. So here our first example is a simple inequality where we have x is less than 5. So whatever value x has, it has to be less than 5. Take a moment to try to name 10 numbers that are less than 5. Hopefully, if you didn't think of them right on the spot, you consider the idea of a number line. And when we look at a number line, numbers less than 5 are on the left-hand side of the number line. So here we have tons of options. It goes continuously all the way into negative infinity. So if you said any of the following numbers, you're right. We also have numbers in between integers that are called rational numbers, as we've learned throughout this year. These can be represented in decimal form or fraction form. So we have 2.5, 1/2, negative 7.9, etc. One of the very important things when we consider less than is that the number itself, 5 in this case, is not a correct answer because 5 is not less than 5. So when it comes to solving an inequality, we want to follow the same rules and steps that we use to solve an equation. We always want to take the time to undo addition or subtraction first, and then undo multiplication or division. So whatever we do to one side of the inequality must be done to the other side. The goal is to get the variable by itself. Something that is very important for us to consider that is different for inequalities than equations is that when we are solving inequalities, we always want to start with our variable on the left-hand side. So here we have w plus 5 is less than 8, and we're going to go through the steps together. So we had a plus 5 on our left-hand side, and we want to just undo that addition by subtracting 5 from both sides. When we subtract 5 from both sides, we get w is less than 3. So this lets us know that any numbers less than 3 would be the solution to this particular problem. The next example we have is 8 plus r is greater than or equal to negative 2. When we look on our left-hand side, r8 does not have a negative sign, therefore it would be positive. So to remove it and put it to the right-hand side, we would have to subtract 8. What we do to one side, we must do to the other. So when we subtract 8, it cancels out on our left-hand side. On our right-hand side, we have the same signs, so same signs, add and keep. We will go ahead and get r is greater than or equal to negative 10. All numbers greater than negative 10, including negative 10, because we have that equal to, will be the solution to this particular problem. Representing it on the number line, you'll notice our dot has changed. Here we will have a solid dot, because of the fact that it can actually be touching the number 10. The answer can be negative 10. Here we have 2x is greater than negative 2. It is not directly obvious what is happening on to our variable, but luckily for us we have had lots of practice and we know if there is not a sign, it is multiplication. So to undo that, we will divide by 2, resulting in x is greater than negative 1. All numbers greater than negative 1 will make this problem true. On our number line, we have an open circle because negative 1 is not an answer to this inequality. Here we have actually two-step equations, which is where we're going to next. So if you're a little lost, please don't stress. We will have another video exactly on this. We have 2h plus 8 is less than or equal to 24. We want to start by undoing addition and subtraction. So we will subtract 8 from both sides. This is our first step. That will result in 2h is less than or equal to negative 16. And now we're on to our second step, which is undoing multiplication. So to undo multiplication, we are going to divide both sides by 2. And we will result in the answer as h is less than or equal to 8. All numbers including 8 will be the proper answer for this inequality. So now what you would like to do is solve the following inequalities and graph the answer. Pause the video, take time to practice them. When you resume, you will be ready to receive the answers. Here we have our following answers. X is greater than negative 7 is 1. D is greater than or equal to 4 is 2. X is less than 11 is 3. And C is less than or equal to negative 3 for 4. So it appears one of the slides did not get added here, and this is really, really important. So I ask that you guys will listen and write this down. If we are undoing multiplication or division and we divide or multiply by a negative number on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, our sign will switch. So if we have x, let's say negative 2x is less than or equal to 5, and we are going to divide both sides by negative 2, our new answer will be x is greater than or equal to 5 divided by negative 2.